So we've done a lot of talking about natural and man-made.
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
So, 1, 2, 3, I think, I was going, you might have, you probably have had quite a few hints of me helping you, that I was going to come and do some pressings. So, here I am today, and Miss Clean has brought this lovely bottle brush.
It's actually Mrs. Davis for you.
And so, is there any questions before we start?
There's several questions, George, and I couldn't answer.
Bianca? What do you mean by like pressing flowers? It's like, maybe you've heard of like some Joseph Benson that when he made sort of like made the flowers go flat, so he could glue them onto paper. Have you heard of that? Well, anyway, some people, instead of having to draw flowers, or because I'm not terribly good at drawing, but so I sort of press them so I don't have to draw them. Pressing them sort of makes them flat, makes them very flat, so you can put them on paper, glue them on paper. And you put, yes. So, any other questions or comments?
Chloe wanted to know, because Chloe was worried about them dying. Can you explain why that doesn't matter?
It doesn't, they won't die. Because once they've gone flat, they dry out and they won't lose their colours. That's the good thing about pressings. They don't lose their colours. They'll sort of be a faintish red, not quite as red as they are here. But so they won't die. They've already been picked and they've sort of already been killed, and so it won't matter. They can't die anymore. They're sort of dead. They won't wilt or anything because they're so cold.
Does that answer your question, Chloe? I think so. All right, George.
I just, it looks like I've got quite enough algae, some bottle brush, and some stuff. Ooh, you had like a thing like this. Yes, well you could have like a little twig each, if you wanted some of that.
How much of that have you got? Just that one piece?
Oh yes.
All right, so hands up if you'd like.
I don't support.
So what plant is that, George?
It's a paper bark. Flowering paper bark.
Paper bark, is that kind of
It's a melaleuca.
Melaleucas. Sorry, yeah, a paper bark.
Yeah.
So they're native to
Yes,
Australia.
native.
They are native, and so is the bottle brush. You know what native means, 1, 2, C?
Yeah.
What does native mean? Eloise?
It means the same as natural.
No, not really. Natural means that, how we talked about, it can come from the ground or it can come from animals or it's a natural thing that's grown. But native, that means it's from that country originally. A kangaroo is native to Australia because this is where kangaroos were from the start of time. Would that be right, George?
Yes.
That's a good explanation of native, right? Just checking. Yes, wherever you like, George. Would you like me to cut a few of these twigs off?
Yes.
And would you like to do a demonstration with the bottle brush or one of these?
I demonstrated in other classes with one of those, but I might actually use some bottle brush.
George, if you just want to take one of the little ones down the bottom maybe, and then they can use the big ones.
Here's some scissors, George. This is Welsh. They're over there in a basket below the spelling tub. And you can do some up there.
So, these are very nice, aren't they? Yes. Bottle brush. So Miss Davis has been very kind to bring some bottle brush in. And so I need a few heavy books.
Yes, I've got several of the books. I should have had them ready.
Did you use the books come over, didn't they?
No.
So we'll have to get some more books for you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll be able to use your dictionaries, maybe. Will they be able to use
That's a good idea.
It's dictionaries. Yes, dictionaries.
Can you get 4 dictionaries, Holly?
You think, yeah, one on the bottom and 3 on top, George, if those would be enough?
You don't have to have any of them.
Oh, just have the paper.
Yes, just have to have
Yeah.
that on.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So we might actually all turn around and just, because there's a good spot for George to work with here, so if you could just turn around. Please stay centred on your bottom if you're in the front row. If you're in the very back row, could you please stand up? You can stand up, Eloise. Bianca, you can stand. Alex, you might like to come in. If you're here, you can kneel. Oh, it's here, George. Can everybody see?
Yeah.
If you can't see, move yourself to a spot that you can see. And George, you just tell me if you want to help. So what's the paper for, George?
The paper is to protect the book, basically.
Okay.
So, on how you write it, how you write it. This way. Like that. And then when you've finished laying it out and put the now we need to put the other piece of paper on top of this to protect the book. And then you get a few books. Now if you've got like a book that thick, you could just put it inside the book. No, but these books aren't that thick. So well they are quite thick, but they're not thick enough. So I put them on the top like that. More. Yes, and so then after you've done that, you wait for 2 or so weeks.
But that's okay, George. I'll be able to put a bit of cardboard over it and move it. It'll be fine.
And wait, you can't look at it for 2 whole weeks.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Just got to do that.
Okay.
And then you wait for 2 weeks. Then and then you can open that up, have a peek, look at it, and then you have to put it back in the book. And then you wait for maybe another week or so, and then you can take it out with the pressing pin, put it on a piece of paper with tiny little black dabs of glue, so you can't see it, keep it out on you.
Yes.
And so then you put some greaseproof paper over the top of it to protect it.
Yes.
And then you can sort of have it in a book. Now, the average of these bottle brush, they would probably last quite a few years.
Right, okay. So, George, what is your class using the pressed flowers for?
To put on Christmas cards.
Yes, and I think the bottle brush is a really great idea because it's the right colours, isn't it, 1, 2, C?
Yes.
Does anybody have any more questions for George about pressing these flowers?
Sinead, do you like pressing them? Yes, I do. So, Sinead.
Sinead, that's right. That's Eloise.
Eloise?
Do you have somewhere where to press them?
No, mainly just one. Alex?
I've got some ball brushes.
Yes, I do too. Yes. And
How does it go flat?
because the weight of the book squishes it. The other
Question, Amy. What's the question?
Actually, I have one, George, that we talked about yesterday in Mrs. Smith's class. I was asking you what the science of studying plants is. Do you think you could explain that to them?
Botany. Right. And if you're a botanist, is that how you say it, a botanist? If you're a botanist, what do you do besides
You
study?
you take records of plants.
Right.
Yes, and so it's like this is one way to keep the record.
Yes, I think so. Certainly, George.
And then sort of, but before you glue the piece of paper and do it alone. But if you're putting it on Christmas cards, you just write Happy Christmas. But I do them to keep a record.
Right.
So I write when they were from and how old was the tree.
Do botanists sometimes use this procedure for their records as well? Or is that a George thing?
That's a proper thing, yes.
Oh, right.
Where did you see that, George?
My
Whose collection of dried flowers have you seen?
I have actually seen Joseph Banks's Banksia.
Wow.
A real in the Sydney.
Right.
Yes.
Very interesting.
And Lil
Right.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you very much, George. That was
Would you like
fabulous.
to do them
Well, I think we will do them today. Are you going to say while we do them?
today? Yes. Well,
that
I
all right?
think you can help, yes.
That'd be really good. Now, I think, George, when we do these, what we might do just for today, we might put one on the bottom and then a few on top.
Yes.
Because then I'll be able to move them.
Yes.
Can that one be mine? Can I use that for my card?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, thank you. Good, because then I won't have to use another flower. So, George, I guess the first thing we should do is we should, would you like to cut the flowers off?
Yes, I will.